Hello and welcome to Trackside USA. Brendan Parnell with you, our second day of coverage of live racing from the west coast of America. Two venues today, Hollywood Park, also Golden Gate, fine in both, around 20 degrees. Shortly linking up with Joanne Jones live trackside. Greg Charles, the Aussie jockey, was in action earlier today. He rode a good second place getter at Hollywood Park yesterday, so sometime throughout the afternoon we hope to be, this morning our time, this afternoon American time, hopefully catching up with him. As always, Tony Brassel joins us for our coverage. And Tony, a good day's racing from the west coast.
That's for sure. Yeah, good news about Greg, wasn't it, Brendan?
It's great over there on a working holiday and picked up some spending money.
Yeah, well, that's right. It'll be terrific if we can catch up with him and get his feel of US racing from the west coast.
Now, the first few races have already been run and won over in the west coast. What's the track pattern been that you've seen so far?
Well, yeah, we've checked out a couple of races, Brendan, and leaders again seem to hold sway, and that's a pattern we saw last week. A couple of horses were driven mad up on the pace last week, and we saw the swoopers, but by and large, on the pace makes the race, as Joanne said last week.
I know. Now, Corey Nakatani and Alex Solis riding today, a couple of the very, very good riders from America, so it's good to see the good gun hoops in action.
Yeah, well, it's just a rule of racing, basically, isn't it? The jockeys with the terrific strike rates, they tend to dominate. It applies out here and it applies over there.
Now, a bit later on in our Trackside USA coverage, incorporating today's track data information, we'll be bringing you the scratchings as they come through, and also a couple of feature stories coming your way. It's a triple Group 1 day down under today, the running of the Stradbroke, the Derby and the Oaks. Good to see the Oaks is on. It's a great day's racing and two classics up for grabs.
For sure, it's a rarity, isn't it? An Oaks and a Derby being run on the same day. So, yeah, it just adds a little bit more spice to the day.
It's been a week since we last spoke to Joanne. I suppose it's about time we say hello again.
I reckon it's a good idea.
Joanne Jones standing by live trackside at Hollywood Park. Joanne, first of all, our time, good morning to you, afternoon there, and how's weather and track conditions?
Well, good morning, Brendan, Tony. Good morning to everybody in Australia. It's a beautiful day here today. As you can see, I'm not weighted down with a turtleneck and a coat today. Just got plenty of sunscreen on. So we've got fast tracks both up north and down south. There are two scratches at Hollywood Park that everyone should be aware of. In the fifth race, the number 6 horse, Sydney's Olympics, name for you, is out. And in the 7th race, the number 6 as well, Lady at Peace, who was the only speed in there. So we're going to have to take a double look in that one and find out who might take that lead.
So Octavio Vergara's Mount Sydney Olympics is out of the 5th race from Olympic Park. The first race we'll be covering. Now, there's some Aussie flavour there this weekend, Joanne. Greg Charles, one of our very best jockeys, riding there.
Right. He rode in 2 races yesterday. I got to watch him. The first one we won't talk about. As you know, when you're starting out somewhere new, you usually don't get the pick of the crop. Jack Vanberg is putting him on a lot of horses, and he did get a 40-to-1 shot up to a late closing second and looked pretty good there in the finish. So maybe we'll see him on some more live horses. I know on Saturday he's on another one for Jack Vanberg that is touted a little bit, and he might have a shot of being second or maybe a winner this time.
We've got a turf race at Hollywood Park, but apart from that, all the races are on dirt today, and the tracks are nice and firm and fast.
Right, everything's on the dirt except for the one turf race, and no real biases to talk about except for Hollywood Park out of that chute, 6.5, 7, 7.5 furlongs, always. I mean, you're going to see horses win from the one hole, but as a rule, they're going to get out sluggish, maybe erase a length or two from where you think they might finish, because it is a negative thing out of that chute. Otherwise, speed is pretty much what you want to look for.
Joanne, Tony, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, we've checked a few races out on the internet over the past week or so since our last telecast, Joanne, and it just seems to be these horses up on the speed in the dirt races. They're tremendously favoured, aren't they?
They are. They are. The speed is very important. We've seen people don't tend to want to go to the lead on the turf, but we have seen a couple horses go wire to wire. So we'll talk about each race as we come up to it, and who the speed is, what the bias in here might be, and who you might see closing.
Now, Greg rode a horse called Apache Pass, which finished second yesterday. We might take a look at that, Joanne. First of all, we'll listen to the call. He comes home very, very strongly in this event. This is as they move up. Apache Pass, you've seen this, and we've just seen it again in replay before we went on air, Tony. It was a nice ride, and the Aussie style was quite distinctive, wasn't it?
It sure was, vastly different to the US style, and he gave this horse every chance, didn't he, Joanne? This was sent out at 40-to-1, thank you very much, and he rode it like a 6-to-4 favourite, didn't he, Greg?
And in readiness,
Let's pick up a race call of this race. You watch him come home hard. From memory, it's the red colours.
Yeah, the red colours. He's just sitting, just about to park in off the pace here, Greg. This horse, Apache Pass, was sent out at big odds. Obviously, its form wasn't too flash leading up to it, but as these pacemakers tend to get away from him, Greg slots into the box seat and gives this horse every hope in running.
Lightning Grey's only about 2 lengths off the early speed. Straight Talk and John is with the front half of the field, followed by Derby Forecast and Kaizoku, and 2 lengths to R Alley. They're pretty tightly bunched. In the middle, Extra Grand is just in front. Trophy's Prize punching through along the inside to get his nose in front at the half mile. Straight Talk and John is 3 wide with that pair. A length and a half, Apache Pass. 2 lengths, Kaizoku on the inside of Lightning Grey, who drifts back 6 from the lead. 2 and a half, R Alley overtaking Derby Forecast. Short of 3/8 to go, and the favourite Trophy's Prize leads narrowly over Extra Grand and Straight Talk and John. A length and a half away comes Apache Pass. 2 to Lightning Grey, Kaizoku on the inside. 2 lengths to R Alley, and Derby Forecast is being pulled out of the race. Into the stretch, and Trophy's Prize now opens up on them, and he's still travelling well within himself. Trophy's Prize 3 lengths on Apache Pass, followed by Straight Talk and John in the blue silks. R Alley and Lightning Grey down the extreme outside, but Trophy's Prize leads by 4 at the 16th. Apache Pass second from Lightning Grey and R Alley, but Trophy's Prize will be untroubled. He scores by 3 lengths from Apache Pass. Greg Childs getting some run out of the long shot for second. Lightning
Apache Pass starting at 40 to 1. A nice performance in second. Now, Joanne, because of our Aussie involvement, did you have a little investment on Apache Pass?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I thought the horse, it was a very weak race. Most everybody in there had been beaten double digits in all of the starts, so it was kind of hard to pick a horse. That one had as much chance as a few others to improve, but Childs definitely got the most out of the horse that he could have. I talked to Jack Van Berg after the race. He said the reason that he's giving him a shot and putting him on all his horses right now is because Greg has been at the barn in the morning. He's been working the horses. He likes the way he gets a hold of them in the morning. They don't run off. He seems to have a pretty good clock in his head, and he said you'll be seeing him putting them on some more horses. And like I said, he seems to have a live one for Van Berg in the second race on Saturday here. We'll have Greg stopping by later in the program, so you get a chance to ask him a couple of questions, as will Michael Rona. He'll try and not trip and rush down here to talk for a moment or two and say hello to some friends down in Australia.
Joanne, I understand also Greg had a ride earlier on the card. How did he go?
Well, I think the horse is somewhere near Sydney right now. He's still trying to find the wire. Not the best animal he was on this time, but I'm sure with the shows that he's had here and the good second yesterday, some people might be giving him a shot down the road.
We might have a look at the field for the first race for coverage, which is the 5th race from Hollywood Park. It's a maiden claiming event, this one, and it's a 6.5 furlong, which makes it 1,300 metres, this race. Key Time is the top one. The runners, the jockeys, in fact, have just mounted up. Key Time is at 15 to 1. Garrett Gomez in the saddle. Bryce Blank rides McBuck, 9 to 1. Justin Randy Valdez, 9 to 1. Dunson is the next to them. Martin Pedroza, 8 to 1. Tall American, as opposed to Quiet American, 3 to 1. Corey Nakatani rides Rock's Hound Alex Solis, one of the star hoops, and a strike rate of 21%. And it's at 5 to 4 on. Bank Robbery, Laffett Pinkay Jr., 11 to 1. And that is the field. So a field of 7 going around in the first. Now, these runners are parading at the moment, Joanne, as we speak. Bank Robbery.
To complete the line. 6 to 5 for Rockhound. Solis gunning for a triple. Racing, Rockhound away briskly, being matched by Justin M in the green silks. Tall American splits them to make a line of 3 onto the main track. 2.5 lengths to McBuck on the inside of Dunson. Bank Robbery caught wide next to last, and 2 lengths to Key Time. They're covered by 7 lengths with 5/8 of a mile to run. Tall American goes to the front by almost a length. Justin M second, the favourite Rockhound a length back third. Dunson pushing through between horses, now going to a joint second at the half mile. Meantime, McBuck is tucked away 5th on the rail. After 4 comes Bank Robbery racing outside Key Time. They're covered now by 8. Dunson going through between Justin M and Tall American, 3 abreast at the halfway point. Rockhound hot on their heels running fourth, 2 lengths clear of McBuck, 3 to Bank Robbery on the outside of Key Time. Up to the court of pole, and Tall American is just in advance of Justin M. Dunson dropping back again a little bit. There might be room for Rockhound to get on the inside of Tall American. No, Solis switches extremely wide. Rockhound's coming after them gamely now, right down the outer. Tall American just in front of the 8th pole, but Rockhound looks to have his measure now. Rockhound grabs the lead. He kicks away from Tall American. Then comes Justin M. But it's a triple for Solis as he celebrates his first day riding in the United States as a US citizen. Rockhound, a big winner from Tall American, and Key Time running on third, followed by Justin M and Dunson, McBuck and Bank Robbery. A big day for Alex. Number 7, Rockhound, to give Alex Solis 3 of the first 5 races today. In his first day riding as a newly sworn-in United States citizen. Number 5, Tall American, has run gamely for second. Number 1, Key Time from the back of the pack for third. Fourth, number 3, Justin M. The time 1:16 and 3.
Well, there you saw it, the addition of blinkers on the number 5 Tall American. That hidden 1:10 and 4, 1:11.6 furlong fraction sent him right to the lead. He did get caught by the heavy favorite, the number 7 Rockhound with Alex Solis. You heard Michael Rona call it his 3rd win of 5 mounts today. So phenomenal day for Solis. And hey, we're finally picking a winner here.
Joanne, that was an impressive performance from your selection and Tony's Rockhound. Alex Solis in tremendous form today. Second place, Tall American, Corey Nakatani, making play 3 wide, Joanne. That seemed to be a taxing run. I was surprised he was finished on as well as he did.
Well, he went 21 and 3, 44 and 2, very stiff fractions, but he held on well, and not much was coming outside of the winner.
Yeah, Rockhound proving a Class 2 good, stretches out to win by what looks like 3 or 4 lengths. Tony, that was a good performance.
It was. He was the one you wanted to be on, though, after Tall American was sitting 3 wide without cover. I know they can do it, though. This is a factor with US racing that we've got to get used to. Out here, like, it's just your history once you're sitting 3 deep without cover on the turf. But from some of these American races, we've seen horses sit wide. Jockeys aren't too worried about sitting deep, and they do get home at times. But he just had the perfect sit, that winner, didn't he, Brendan?
Sure did. Alex Solis with a strike rate of 21%. Looks to improve that even further, as in good form today, as you heard Michael Rona explain. Now, Golden Gate, the first race we'll be looking at is over 1,200 metres, 6 furlongs. It's the 6th on the card from Golden Gate. And Dancing with Franklin is a 14-to-1 chance. Dennis Carr. Stray Jewel, Even Money, Russell Bays is in winning form today. Swing Heiress at 30-to-1. 6-to-1 Catherine Louise, Chance Rollins. 6-to-1 Smokin' Star Dancer, Joey Castro. Easter Baby, 40-to-1 now. TG, Roberto Gonzalez Jr., 6-to-1. Moon Moon, Jose Arriaga, 5-to-1. And there is one more, Smile City at 19-to-1. 10 minutes to post time. Well, it's unusual. Wood Park. And in good form. He's alongside Joanne Jones right now. Greg, how's things?
Yes, very good, thanks. Well, good morning, I guess, to Australia down there.
Yeah, you've been in good form.
Good morning to Australia.
Now, your form included a good second yesterday. What happened today?
Yes, I had the one ride today, and it was a 25-to-1 shot, and there was 5 in it, and finished 5th.
Joanne said she didn't back yours yesterday. She didn't give it much chance at 40-to-1.
No, nobody did. That's why it was 40-to-1. But I mean, I'm the new boy on the block here, so I've got to start off at the bottom or at the ground and work my way up. It's going to be hard, but I'm only here on a working holiday.
Greg, Jack Van Berg said that he's been putting on a lot of horses in the morning, and he likes the way you pick up the horses' heads, get them collected under you, and get them working. How do you like working with Jack, and who else do you see as trainers you might be picking up mounts with?
Oh, Joanne, that's right. When I first came here, I ran into an Australian trainer, Brian Lynch, who's based here in California, and he's been training here since 1990, and he actually introduced me to Jack Van Berg. And actually, Brian's been a big help here in California, promoting me and selling me to a lot of the trainers around down the back, at the back here early in the mornings. So I have a special thanks to Brian. And I'm riding one for Brian on Sunday, New York, who's actually a very good winning chance. But I'm also riding track work for Henry Marino and a little bit for Kim Lloyd. It's been slow. I was here some 14 years ago, and a few people remember me, but basically I've got to start from scratch. And it's hard work, but that's what you got to do. You got to do the hours in the morning and move around to different trainers. What's most important is getting or securing a jockey's agent, and it's a little bit hard to find one that's going to take me for just a short time. But I hope to have one tied up for me tomorrow. Yeah, so that's...
You'll be in hot negotiations tonight after you leave here.
Yeah, well, I need to get a win on the board, though. I mean, the only way you can sell yourself is by getting results out there on the track.
Well, you may have that Saturday, from what I understand, with the Vanberg horse in the second.
Correct. I have a good ride for Jack in tomorrow, and I have a good ride for Brian Lynch on Sunday. It's slow, but, you know, I'm here to... it's sort of my winter break, and I'm here... Rather than take a holiday and spend time on the beach, I'm here doing a bit of work and getting some good exposure. I'm hoping I'll get some winners here on the board, and I'll be here for only a short time.
You'll go down to Del Mar.
Yeah, well,
another beach race.
Yeah, that's correct. There is a little bit of doubt whether I'll go any further than Hollywood Park, because I have some good commitments with some horses back in Melbourne. There's one horse in particular, a lot of Australians will know, a horse called Iska. She's a flying machine, and she's due to run, I think, on the 24th of July. So I'd like to go back and get back on her, and she'll be heading towards some major races during the spring in Melbourne, and maybe going up to Hong Kong, all going well. So it looks like at this stage I'll be here till the end of the meeting here on July 19. But, you know, I guess before I go too much further, I'd like to say a hello to my family, to my children.
Say hello.
Taylor and Jordan. I hope they're sitting in front of the TV watching me right now. My wife, Diane. I hope they'll come up for a couple of weeks towards the end of the meeting. But I hope they're looking after Mummy, and I hope to see them soon.
What do you find to be the biggest difference or differences in riding in Australia versus riding here in the United States?
Well, for a start, we're racing on dirt tracks, and that's a major change. I had experience riding on dirt tracks in Hong Kong, but for the Australian punter, or the Australian punter sitting at home watching, we're racing on dirt tracks. The dirt's a little bit slower than what we race on the turf. The turf seems to run quicker. Even though the times are there, they run their first fractions or their first quarters much faster than what we do in Australia. We tend to hold our horses up and wait for the last run. Here in Hollywood Park, or in America, full stop, they race fast right from the time they leave the gate, and it's more stamina. We like to hold our horses up for the first half of the journey and then let them run out strongly over the last 3 quarters. Here they run hard and fast all the way. It's basically the last horse standing. Hollywood Park especially, the horses have to be in the first 3 or 4 if they're going to be in with a winning chance. A lot of the horses don't like the kickback, the dirt. So if you're too far behind, they come wider to avoid the kickback, and that's what probably a lot of Australians can't understand. Why do the jockeys go so wide? Well, it's because of the kickback. Horses don't like dirt and sand coming into their face. But if you can sort of break away from the gate quickly and get down onto the fence, it's a big advantage.
Greg, do you want to stay with us? We've got a race approaching from Golden Gate. We'll just have a look at the runners there as they parade, maybe get your thoughts in the lead up to this upcoming race from Golden Gate. Stray Jewel, Russell Bays is now 6-5, 8-1 for Catherine Louise. We're around 3 minutes away from start time. Smokin' Star Dancer at 8-1. And then we have 5-1 TG, Roberto Gonzalez Jr. 5-1, Jose Arriaga's Mount Moo Moon at 5-1. And we have one more, which is Smile City by the Mr. Prospector sire Carson City. 17 for Smile City. Now, Stray Jewel, I thought, was the one which looked the goods on paper. Tony, you've done the form here?
Yes, Stray Jewel must come in with a great show. It's the favourite, Brendan. The one I thought was a bit of a query, a horse called Smokin' Star Dancer, who was only had the one start but showed a fair bit of speed, finishing 3rd at Golden Gate back on May 26. So, yeah, I thought I'd go for it 8-1.
Joey Castro, Joanne, has got quite a good strike rate. This horse is showing good value in your betting market.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that horse, because one of the two horses that I like in here, one's 9 to 1, the other's 13 to 1, is the number 5 Smokin' Star Dancer. You mentioned Joey Castro. He was a very good rider around Turf Paradise in Arizona. He's moved his tack a couple of times back and forth between San Francisco and Arizona. He seems to be at Golden Gate Fields to stay now. He's teaming up with Lanny Sharp, who's a very crafty Turf Paradise trainer, and they have a very strong charge here in Smokin' Star Dancer, who is 9 to 1. He's only had one start, going 5.5. He was wide, seemed to just kind of lope around the racetrack. So I would almost treat this one as a first-time starter, with that race as more like a workout. I'm looking for some improvement in Smokin' Star Dancer today. And then there's a horse on the outside, the number 9 Smile City for J.C. Gonzalez. Now this is a rider, J.C. Gonzalez, who's been down in Southern California for quite some time. I haven't heard whether he's moved his tack up north or is just up there for the day, but Rene Amescua has him replacing Russell Bays. The last race on Smile City, he had 2 months off. Russell had him wide and kind of running around the racetrack, almost like a workout, and I look for that horse to maybe rebound to races in the past, like that second with Radke up, that could win it. So those are 2 long shots that I would give a big push to here.
Now, Greg, with riding Pattinson, how do you go studying the form over there?
Yeah, a little bit difficult at first, but there is I must say, there is a lot of form here to read, and it's taken a little bit of time to digest it, but as I said, I have Brian Lynch and actually Mike Rona, who's been very good. We had dinner the other night and he helped explain a few things. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that come out of the woodwork and they try and help you. You know, when you're a jockey from down under, there's always someone out there willing to help. But yeah, there's lots of form there. Look, at the end of the day, it's getting on the fast horses for me, and everyone's sitting back and watching to see how I perform.
Greg,
But,
the Stradbroke's being run today. What would you like to be on if you were back in Brisbane?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know what's in the field. What's in it? What's the favourite? I mean, I'm up here doing work. I know. I'm concentrating on my own backyard right now.
In a Flurry, Juggler, Laurie's Lottery, Greta Hall, staging.
In the Flurry, how did she run last start?
Disappointed in the Goodwood,
What a memory they
so
want you to have.
Yeah, well, she was a top-class filly in the spring down in Melbourne, so Colin Alderson trained. But yeah, no, right now I'm looking after my own backyard up here in America, and it's been hard work, but it's a good challenge, and I'm hoping it'll give me some good exposure if I can ride a couple of winners, and when I go back for the spring carnival down in Melbourne, I'll get on some, is what they say, some live ones.
Greg, great to have you part of our second week of coverage of live American racing, and your regards also to Diane, your wife, Taylor and Jordan, your kids, and we look forward to having you back down under in the best of success up there.
Yes, well, thanks very much, and yeah, I hope to get a winner on the board soon, and maybe you can interview me about my winner and have it on the TV so everyone can see how it's all
Send
done.
that footage down to them.
Yes.
Everyone can watch.
But a big goodbye to Taylor and Jordan and Diane. I'll see you soon.
Greg Charles there with Joanne Jones. Joanne, they're moving up. Your last thoughts?
Well, as they're loading up, we didn't mention the favorite, and that is the number 2 Stray Jewel, going up to the gate as we speak. Russell Bays, of course, 6 to 5. That's a tough one. The 7 TG with Roberto Gonzalez.
Slow
there they go.
For Danzin with Franklin. Catherine Louise is quickly into stride along with Swing Era. Stray Jewel is prominent to the rail. Moon inside of Smile City. TG races in 6th. Then we'll go to Danzin with Franklin. Smokin' Star Dancer. And Easter Baby is the distant trailer. On the lead, it's Swing Eris. The big long shot leads by more than a length and a half. Stray Jewel is second inside of Catherine Louise. Smile City in the red, 4 wide, about a length and a half from the front. Then we go further back in the field to Moon. She has about 4 lengths to make up on the leading 3. TG is losing some ground to the rail as Danzin with Franklin. To her outside is Smokin' Star Dancer. And the trailer remains Easter Baby. Top of the lane, Stray Jewel right there with Catherine Louise. Swing Heiress is back to third. Smile City races fourth. Far outside is Moon Moon. Inside the final furlong, and Catherine Louise has the lead. Stray Jewel is second. Smile City third. Moon Moon to the far outside. In deep stretch, it's all Catherine Louise at 8-1. Photo for second between Stray Jewel and Smile City.
Number 4, Catherine Louise, with a good race there, catching Modesto Linares, who sent Swing Heiress out there. I was reading from my 9, Smile City, who was a bit wide on that turn, maybe losing a length, but wasn't going to catch that leader. I don't think I got that place photo, though.
Catherine Louise successful there by the Secretariat horse Swoon out of a Personality mare, bred at Stone Ridge Farm, California. Successful and far too strong for them in the 6 furlong 1200 metre dash at Golden Gate. This chestnut cleared out. The raging favourite Stray Jewel was the grey back on the fence, racing in those burgundy and grey stripes. Russell Bayes in the saddle. It's in the photo for second with Smile City, but a clear margin to the winner there. Joanne was far too strong for them.
Very strong. Like I said, nobody was going to catch him, and it doesn't look like the 9 got that place photo either for second. So horses, as you can hear behind me, are coming up onto the track now for the 6th race at Hollywood Park, where you've got the number 2, Jam and Jelly, as the horse to beat. This horse has 21-2. 44-4 speed, and David Flores, the pop out of the gate, go to the front rider in the saddle. Jam and Jelly is going to be a tough one to beat as they come on the track. Who do you two think looks good in the 6th at Hollywood?
Okay, the next race is 6.5 furlongs, which is 1,300 metres from Hollywood Park. A claiming purse, 3-year-old fillies engaged in this upcoming race. We'll check in the field. Placings have come through. 4, 2 and 9, so Smile City, I should say, has taken 3rd place at Golden Gate in that 2nd race for live coverage. Don't forget, we'll have all today's scratchings around 9 o'clock this morning with the gear and jockey changes for your weather and track conditions on a triple Group 1 Saturday. Now, the 3rd is from Hollywood Park. It is, in fact, their 6th race. If you're following with your form guides, Little Ballerina at 25-1, Jam and Jelly. David Flores has the ride. 13-1 Golden Tip, Monica Luxury at 13-1. 9-2 Naveto Laffett Pinkay Jr. Garrett Gomez rides Air Force Woman at 5-2. So it's just the 2nd favourite behind Jam and Jelly. 18-1 Curious Marlene, Contessa Luso 4-1. Corey Nakatani has the ride. Alex Solis is aboard Curious Marlene in this upcoming race. 6 of its last 7 starts, it's finished in the top 3, Air Force Woman, and it's had a couple of wins there as well. It's been in good form, Joanne.
Well, the number 2 horse, Jam and Jelly, as I mentioned before, looks to be the horse to beat. He has the speed, or she has the speed in here. They're going to have to catch her. Nobody can go with her. Nobody else has really gone for the lead before. Little Ballerina did a couple back, but I don't think she's even going to try and go with Jam and Jelly in here. Little Ballerina, if she rates off of that pace, may find herself chasing on for a second in here at 23-1. If you're an exacta player, that might be one to go for.